So, hello everybody. So welcome to this Lina 6.0 update webinar. So just want to know if everybody is listening okay. The sound is okay for you. Can you just please answer on the chat if there is issue with the sound? Okay, good. Thanks a lot, Paul. Okay, so let's start. So today the session will take around 13 minutes and will be recorded. The replay will be sent shortly after the end of the webinar. You can ask your question on a button question at the bottom of your screen on the right. Even for the polls, you can ask for the survey. So please feel free to answer to the question. Thanks in advance. We will answer to your question at the end of the webinar, so feel free to ask questions during the webinar and our team will be available at the end, or if we don't have time, we will answer to your question after. Today we have two speakers, so we have Sylvie. Hello, Sylvie.
Hello, everybody.
So technical.
Happy to be here with you today.
So technical product manager for Lina, and we've got Geoffrey. Hello, Geoffrey.
Hello, everyone.
So product marketing manager for data protection, and then Lina as well. So let's go now and have a nice session.
Thank you, Cécile. So hello again, everyone. Today I will explain all the new Lina 6.0 functionalities, new features. And at the end, Sylvie will demonstrate a bit all this new feature with a quick demonstration. So the main features coming with this new Lina 6.0 update are: the first one is multi-server. So why did we release these new features? It will help, of course, administrator to deploy a large amount of agents. When you have multi-servers and thousands of agents to protect, then it will be much more easier to configure and to deploy all the protection strategies with this 6.0 version, because you will have only one master server to configure. So administration and supervision will be much more easier with thousands of agents. Also, for instance, if you for MSP business, it will be much more easier to configure your agents park with this 6.0 version. If we take a look of use cases, and as I previously said, when you have many agents to protect, the administrator guy, it will be much more easier for the administrator to configure all his agents from a single server, which is a master server here. And of course, it will be easier to dispatch all agents into the servers according to some dedicated parameters, and to automate the protection strategies to all the agents. Also for MSP. For some MSP, they don't want to mix their customer backup in the same repo. So here with the multi-server, they can now manage to dispatch the different customer backups easily. And again, from an MSP administrator, he could be able to administrate all his clients' agents from a single point, single entry point, the master server. And lastly, the MSP business will be also available to modulate backup services according to the user needs. For instance, the retention or even the replications could be optionals and sales apart. If we take a look to the architectures, so as I said, now there is only one master server to configure, and this master server is communicating with Lina nodes, and the Lina nodes host the backup repository, actually. And so there is no data connection between the master server and Lina agent. The data transfer is only between Lina agents and the Lina nodes. Okay, let's move on. New feature also is the new administration user interface. So brand new dashboard coming with this updated Lina 6.0 version, much more clearer, simpler, and easier to monitor alerts, to monitor bandwidth, to monitor even the license management is much more easier to manage performances. As you can see, there are some tiles on this dashboard, and well, we've tried to make it easier and clearer as much as possible, and Sylvie will demonstrate in live at the end of this session what it looks like. Move on the agent list. So when I have a very large amount of agents to protect, sometimes it's difficult to navigate between agents. So we released quick navigations options through the interface, and so now you can have a simplified agent view, as you can see. And if you use the multi-server and if you have thousands of agents to protect, with this Lina 6.0 latest version, it will be much more easier for you to manage your and to search for your agents. Enhancement now. Interesting things is the new Linux agent-based protection. The previous version of Lina used to have the DKMS module to back up Linux agents, and now we have updated this agent to Notify, and the result is much more better performances for Linux agents to backup. In backup performances of Linux agents are much more it's better than before, let's say, and it works on all Linux versions such as Debian, Ubuntu, CentOS, or the latest Rocky Linux, of course. But yes, now we have a real CDP, so continuous data protection for Linux agents, and overall performances are much more better now with this new eNotify module. Okay, next one is the agents log to server. So previously, when an administrator wanted to get logs from the end users, it has to ask for the end user to send the logs by email, for instance. So it was not really convenient. And with this 6.0 version, the administrator guy can now automatically access logs from any protected agents on his park. So this will ease and will facilitate the work of administrators. New OS support. So Linux 9 with Rocky, Alma, and Red Hat are now supported. And as you probably know, that CentOS will be discontinued and will be replaced by Rocky Linux. We get the official Rocky Linux 9 certification from CIQ. So now Lina 6 is fully compatible with with Linux 9 versions, Rocky, Alma, and Red Hat. Still in new compatibility parts, we added the Windows Server 2022 compatibility on Lina server side. And on Lina agent side, we added the macOS 13 Ventura compatibility and also the NAS Synology DSM-7, Intel and ARM version, of course. So yes, we added a lot of new compatibilities with this 6.0 version. Quick words on the replication side. Unified configuration in the previous Lina versions. If you wanted to set up your replication destinations, you have to make it in two different interfaces. And with this new version, you have now only one interface for to set up all your replication configuration. Okay, let's move on. Agent groups. So now you can easily create agent groups. And you can share, of course, and you can create in those different groups specific protection and strategy protection policy and strategy. Sylvie will demonstrate in a few minutes how it works. But again, the main idea is to simplify the administration work. And to ease yes the work of all the administrators. When you have a lot, thousands of agents to protect, with this kind of feature, it will be much more easier for you. Following the evolution of agent groups into config sharing groups, we also introduce logical grouping with tags. So as you can see on this slide, you can now create tags and assign one or more tags to agents, or even filters and create views of with specific tags. So again, it's the main purpose of this is to facilitate and to ease the work of administration when you have a lot and thousands of agents. Okay, the last one is automatic agent rebranding. So here we had the possibility for MSP, for instance, to customize the agent backup for Windows agents. So if, for instance, if you want to have your dedicated brand colors or logo on the Lina agent, you can do it easily with this 6.0 version, and you can customize the product logo, the different colors, different several banners. So when you start your installation, Lina will check if there is any customization package available. And if there is one, it will automatically rebrand the interface. If there is no customizable package, then Lina will take his original brand logo. So interesting feature for MSP, for instance, or even for customer who wants to have their own colors and brand over the Lina interface. Okay, right. Now it's time for the demo. So Sylvie will demonstrate what Lina 6.0 looks like. Sylvie?
Yes, thank you, Geoffrey. Okay, now we're going to be able to see what all the new features that Geoffrey explained look like in the interface. So this is the login screen then. So login. So for those of you who were already familiar with the admin interface in 5.3, in the beta interface, this probably looks familiar to you. Otherwise, welcome to the new interface. So the first thing to note here is that since we are in a multi-server configuration, you have a little images here that remind you that you are connected to the master server. So the master server is going to give you access to all the agents from all the nodes and all the tenants as well. You can now show the all tenants view, which can be pretty useful to supervise all your backups, but you won't be able to perform all the action in the tenant view. For some specific action, and I will show you later, you have to be in a specific tenant view. One of the tiles that's very important here is the node one. So this will give you the details of all the nodes that are present in your multi-server environment. And a few of the configuration operation can only be performed on the node, especially everything that has to do with the repository, since in the multi-server environment, each node will keep separate backup blocks. So they will only perform the duplication within their own repository. The master server is dataless, so it does not carry any backup data, only configuration information. That's why we still have to go in the admin interface of the node at some point. So I'll show you. It looks like the master one, but with fewer things that you can do. You can really do only the infrastructure configuration. And here you have a different logo that tells you that you are on a node server rather than on the master. So let's go back to the master view. So in some of the tiles here, you can perform some configuration already from here. For instance, in the agent, I can change the amount of time after which I will get an alert if the agent is not backed up, for instance, 1 week. If it's okay, then I validate. For the activity as well, you can decide the time frame that's going to be showing on the window. So 30 minutes may not be enough if you want to have a good idea of what's going on with your backup, so you can check 1 hour. This will give you more time to see activity in the tile. And of course, the more interesting right now for us, it's going to be the agent tile. So right now I'm in the all tenant view, so I can see all the agents from all tenants. I can add the tenants if I want to see that. So I know which tenant I'm in. And I'm going to remove it for now because my screen is not very large. And I want to see better the protection and agent group. So now I'm going to create an agent group in one of the tenants. Before I do that, actually, here you see that I had a group 1 that I created previously. And I have a default group that says no protection inheritance, that if you don't create any group at all, all the agents from all tenants will go in a no protection inheritance group. So let's create anyone. Group 2, for instance. For the protection, I'm going to take limited to office file protected by default. And unlock strategy with no network encryption. So now I have my group here, and I can see the protection and strategy. And I can see that I have 0 agents associated to it, whereas here I have 203. So now let's go back to the agent. You can just select a bunch of agents. And here I'm going to choose the one I just created, group 2. Yes, I want to apply the changes. Oh, okay, and now I can see in the interface that all these agents are associated to agent group 2, and they are inheriting the protection, the Windows limited to office file protected by default, and the strategy that I created for the group. So this way you can kind of rapidly assign backup configuration to your agent, and you can also create maybe groups depending on either the type of backup you want. This way, it's a good way to organize all your agents, and also you don't have to create the protection and strategy agent by agent. You can just grab them all and put them in a group. You can also, with the group, when you do the auto assignment, that's when you first create your agent, first install your agent and they arrive in the interface. You can also assign them a group here. And the criteria that I chose here is just to assign it to all the Linux systems, which is not very logical because I chose a strategy that's more oriented for Windows agents, so let me change that. It's just to show you anyway, because I'm not actually going to do it. But this way also, according to some criteria, you can assign, upon creation, a group to your agents. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is the tag that Geoffrey mentioned earlier. So I'm going to choose other agents, not the same ones. I'm going to assign them some tags. So I can either pick a tag that I already created before, marketing department, for instance, or I can add a new tag. Okay. Let's say I'm going to call it England. If I want to do a geographical grouping of my agent, I'm going to choose a color for it. Maybe a little nice purple, pink. And now all the agents I selected will have those two tags associated to them. Of course, you don't have to put two tags, you can just put one or three or more. And then in the agent view, you can select the tag you want to see, for instance. That's a nice way when you have a lot of agents to reduce the size of the list. In fact, when you have a lot of agents, you have to select some kind of a filter because it has no sense to display, let's say, 2,000 agents, for instance. It would take forever anyway, plus it would really have no purpose. So you will have a little pop-up message that will tell you have too many agents, please choose a criteria to filter them. Okay, and if I want to see everything, I just close the tab. Okay, yeah, the other nice feature that Geoffrey mentioned is the fact that you can see the log on the agent. So for that, you just select the agent you want to see the log for and go to local event. And there you have the list of all the agents that are, everything that's happening on the agent. On a regular basis, the agent sends all its log to the server. So that's really nice because you don't have now, before you had to ask the user, please send me the log, I want to see what's wrong with your agent. Now it's going to be much easier for everyone. Another nice feature I wanted to show you is the global search. This way, let's say if you want to create a strategy but you don't remember how to do it or where it is, you can just type it in here. And then click here, and it will take you directly to the window where you can, to the interface where you can create a new strategy or modify an existing one or whatever you have to do with the strategy. So that's a pretty neat feature as well. That's about all I wanted to show you today. There's of course much more you can do with the new interface, but I do not want to overwhelm everybody with too much detail, too many details. So,
thank you very much, Sylvie. So I think we have a few minutes to reply all your questions. Before to reply your question, I would like to add one thing. So the first thing is the version is available right now, so you can actually download it from the Atempo support. So if you want to try it, then it is possible, and it's a GA version. Secondly, this Lina 6.0 version, if you have a previous version of Lina in standalone server mode, you won't be able to well, let's say if you are in standalone server in a previous Lina version, you can only install Lina 6 in standalone mode. Okay, if you want multi-server mode with Lina 6, you have to do a new installation. So if you want to upgrade your product, then you can do it, but only in standalone mode. So this is really important to know. and the forthcoming version will add this standalone from standalone to multi-server capabilities, but with yes, the next version. So yes, interesting. Version is available, downloadable from support.atempo.com. But if you are in standalone mode, you will have to stay in standalone with this Lina 6.0.
There's a question
yeah.
about how is it possible to origin communication with Atempo outside the organization network? Well, you have several ways of doing it. You can either, if it goes through a VPN, then you can communicate with agents that are outside of your organization network. Or if you have a lot of agents that are outside the network and that will need to be backed up, you can create a reverse proxy configuration that will allow agents from outside to talk to the server, even if it's beyond the DMZ zone. So that's how we do it.
Can agents auto-upgrade to 6.0 from 5.3.4? I guess yes. If you install the Lina 6.0 version, then agents will automatically upgrade to 6.0.
Yes. There is an auto-upgrade feature that was already there in previous versions since 5.2, I think. And yes, someone asked about an issue with 5.3.4. This is fixed. So you should probably upgrade to 5.3.5 prior to upgrading to 6.0 if you want to be able to perform the automatic update. I'll check with the support on this particular issue to give you a more precise answer. This is for Sanjay Yoshi.
So
well, thanks a lot for your
yes, I
attention
think we have
and
done
all your questions and your interest in Lina.
Yeah. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next coming version, Lina 6.1, and hope this session was interesting for you.
We'll be sending out the replay of today's webinar, and if you have more questions later on, don't hesitate to reply to that.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have
Bye.
a good day, everybody.